In a family, children are always viewed as a blessing, and at times, they are simply the fruits of the womb. But for 27-year-old Christine Mugure, a single mother of two, a bundle of joy turned to be her source of sadness, years after her firstborn son was declared deaf and dumb.
Nani amepupu? Peter! I discovered that my firstborn is deaf and dumb when he was 2 years old. That is the time the other kids of his age were speaking, but he could not speak. So I decided to seek a medical help. And then they asked me about his history. So when I told them that he had meningitis when he was around 3 months, they told me that his hearing was affected, and that is why he could not speak. It was hard for me to accept it. Even for my family members, they were not able to accept. They told me, some even told me that I'm exaggerating, that he's still a small boy. We even had issues with his dad. He used to say that I'm the one who's not speaking to the boy. That is why he could not also accept that the boy had a problem. Living with Ryan is a bit hard because, you know, he can't, it is not easy for him to understand what you're saying. And even for him to be able to cope with other kids. Sometimes he's very aggressive, he fights, especially when he sees other kids are not understanding him. So it's a bit hard, even for me, sometimes, for him to understand what I'm saying and for him to know the exact thing that you're saying, it is a bit hard.
As they say, a boo is a lot louder than a cheer. From her smile, one might assume that all is rosy, but that is not always the case.
What really hurts is rejection, being rejected. Nobody wants anything to do with you, especially the rejection of their father. That hurts me most. Because for me, I know he's very capable. He can be able to raise the kids, but he don't want anything to do with them. Then for my family, they didn't accept me as a single mother. So when I gave birth to my second boy, nobody even came. They don't even know about him. They only hear about him, but nobody has ever seen him.
Mugure seems to be a strong believer of challenges is not the absence of happiness. Rather, it's the ability to deal with them.
I used to supply building materials, that is timber. It is usually called shutter in general. The materials were stolen and I was left with nothing, utterly nothing. So since April, I've not been able to pay my house rent. I have 3 months arrears, and the kids depend on me in everything: food, rent, clothes, everything. Their education, I'm their sole provider. For now, you can even see my house is empty. They have taken kila kitu yenye wameona inaweza recover pesa yao, my TV, my 5-seater, meza, and I've just been left with an empty house.
Despite all that she is going through, Christine remains to be an adorable mother with something special within her.
As a mother, I don't regret giving birth to any of them because from them it's where I get strength to move on. Even when I'm rejected by everyone else, I know that my sons are there for me and I have to be there for them.